Hey guys, what's up? Valley Flying here. I am back. Welcome to the channel. And in this video, I'm going over another question from a viewer. This time it's Shadow Brew. Do you have any tips on first opponents to kill? I am level 44, so Crossbones is a major player in Arena, but there are also new characters emerging like Korath I'm unfamiliar with, so unsure whether to focus on him or not. Let's take a look at it. So first thing, as far as tips I have, is you need some flexibility because there's no hard, fast rule that's going to encompass every single battle that you have in the game. You need to look at your opponent. Obviously, you want to see what threats they have. So I'm going to go through some threat assessment. I'm going to look at your team, make sure that we're running the right team, and then what mode you're in, because how I play Arena mode is different from how I play the challenges, per se. And then I'm going to go through some battles and go over what I'm thinking through in my head when I'm doing this stuff. So first thing, looking at the opponents, this is how I prioritize what I'm looking at. Not necessarily the order I'm going to kill everybody in, but as far as the threats, I think the biggest threats in the game right now are the damage dealers. And obviously the AoE attacks are deadly because they have the potential to take out your whole team. Single target attacks can take out potentially one of your tunes, maybe three if you're using Gamora. But let's look at the big AoE attacks. These are the guys that I really don't like to deal with. And the first is this guy right here, Crossbones. He's got this detonate attack. 430% damage to self and all allies. That is huge damage to your whole team. This is a big attack. This can deal one damage to one character more than a lot of the single target attacks in this game. This is huge. Crossbones is a huge threat. You also got Rocket. Rocket's got a big AoE, and so does Quake. Now, if you look at the damage, it's not huge. You know, I haven't seen this take out my whole team, but it does apply offense down on 3 enemies for 1 turn. At level 6, it goes up to 5 enemies. So this is a big threat because I'm not able to do as much damage. I'm not able to eliminate their threats if I have offense down. So that's why Quake, Rocket, and Crossbones are my top 3 AoE attacks that are dangerous. Next tier, I think, is Yondu because he deals some good damage. It's undodgeable. It doesn't hit people in stealth, but it's undodgeable, deals some good damage. This has taken out a lot of players on my team. Thor has another big one. Again, this is in the second tier because it doesn't have a huge damage, but it is in the second tier because it can apply stun to all targets. You have a 30% at level 5. You have 50% at level 6 once you get up to level 60. So if your whole team is stunned, they're not taking turns. That is a big threat. And then got Hawkeye. He's got some mediocre damage. It's not huge, but you can apply blind to the whole team. So again, that's something I don't want. And then you got the rest of them. You know, you got Punisher, Iron Man. They got some so-so AoE attacks. And there's other characters with AoE attacks that I can't think of off the top of my head. So let's go into the big single target attack threats. And I think the biggest one for single target is Gamora. Because of the way her skills are laid out, if she can do this flying slash and kill somebody, she'll go into Ruthless Blade, kill somebody, go into Assassin Strike, kill somebody, and that's 3 of your targets that are down. She can be a real problem. The good thing about Gamora, though, is that she's pretty squishy, so if you can get to her, you could take her out pretty quickly. Wolverine, he's another threat. He's got some big damage. This skill, Primal Berserker, is huge. Usually I end up killing the target when I do this skill. Elektra has a big single target attack. I love the animation on this Vital Strike where it just sends the person down, face down, lying down. Looks cool. And then Winter Soldier has a big attack right here, this mechanical arm. I don't have it leveled. My Winter Soldier's not super strong, but it's a big threat. And then you have Iron Man. Let me scroll down to him. There he is. He's got not only that AoE attack that we talked about earlier. It's not huge, but this single target attack is huge. 420% damage to start off with. I don't even have him unlocked. This is level 1. Big attack coming up from Iron Man. So those are in my opinion, the big damage dealing threats that you have to worry about. I'm also looking for what kind of buffs or debuffs they have on their team. Can they lock me out of doing what I want? Can they buff up their team to just kill me way faster than I can them? So here's a few things that I'm looking for. Number one is heal block. Might not be the biggest threat, but to me, this is the most annoying one because especially in alliance raids, I can't heal my team properly. I've got my tank sitting there almost dead. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't use my heal because it's going to use it on that character and it'll just be wasted. So I can't really heal any other characters. It's just an annoying thing. Heal block, bad. I hate that one. Whoops. All right, dropped my phone there. Anyway, I'm also looking at characters like Black Widow and Quake because that combination of speed up and slow can really cripple my team, just slow them down so I can't really do a lot. Stun, pretty much the same thing. If my character's stunned, he can't do anything, so they're able to attack me. Ability block, that's another big debuff that I don't like because I can't use my skills properly. Heal can be annoying if you got a healer that's just healing all the damage. Luckily, most of these heal skills are on a pretty big cooldown, so they can't be healing often. And then revive. Right now, it's not a huge threat in the game, but in other games that these revive chances are a lot higher. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, one of the first people I take out is Old Daka because she could revive people like that. In this game, not a huge threat, but I do want to make you aware of this in case they change a few skills or add a few new characters. Right now, Nobu can revive. Who else can revive? Shield Medic I know can revive. There's probably a few other characters that can revive. I know there's characters that can revive themselves. I'm not too worried about that. The next threat that I'm looking for, probably the 4th threat level, is going to be the Summoners. Now, these guys are not very high on the priority list just because the summon characters don't have a lot of HP, so you can kill them off pretty quick if you have a strong AoE attack ready. Guys that could summon characters, you're looking at Nobu, he's got a summon. Yondu, he's got a summon. Kingpin, where's Kingpin? I don't even have him unlocked yet, so he's all the way down here, but he has a summon characters. Nick Fury, he's never been available. He has some summon characters. They could do some damage, so you do want to take these out before the last tier, but they're not going to be a huge threat, especially if you have AoE attack ready. And then the last tier is all these remaining characters. So your tanks, your other characters that are there for support but don't really have a lot of effective buffs or debuffs. You also got your weaker damage characters. They're supposed to be damage dealers, but they're not very strong. If you notice someone's star level or their gear level is not very high, go after them. And they're just in the bottom tier category, and usually the way I attack these guys is I go from weakest health to strongest health. I want to put the odds in my favor, and that's another thing. You want to look for weak links. Now, I don't really put this in a tier of threats because they're not really a threat, but the reason I go after these guys is because they can put the odds in my favor if I kill one of them. So instead of being on a 5-on-5 situation, I go to a 5-to-4 situation or a 5-on-3 situation. Really good for the odds, and it really helps to kill faster because I'd rather be facing one opponent than a bunch of opponents at once, just because turn-wise they could attack me more and do more damage than one character that's just going once. And that is pretty much what I'm looking for as far as threat level. So we've taken a look at the threats of the other team, whoever we're facing, and now we want to start to build a team to start to counter that. So what are some counters? Well, if you look at some teams, sometimes they'll have a lot of tanks. Let's go into blitz mode because there's a bunch of stuff here. Not this one. Okay, so we got 2 tanks on here. So if I see a lot of tanks, I'm going to need to make sure that I bring some debuffers or someone that has some AoE damage that could get to these other targets. Gamora's a big threat. Quake's a big threat. Black Widow's a big threat. Not so much from Captain America and Drax. They're solid tanks, but they're not going to kill my team. They're not going to wreck my team. Let's go to another one. I'm looking for a big single target damage dealing team. I'm not sure if I can find one, but if I see a lot of single target damage, Dealers, I'm going to want to get some tanks on my team. At least one, maybe two, maybe even three, because they could soak up the damage from these single target damage dealers. If I'm going and seeing a lot of AoE, let's see if I could find one, just finding a random team in the rankings. If I see a lot of AoE, not this one, but if I see a lot of AoE, I'm going to want to slow them, stun them. I don't want them to take the turn, because the good thing about AoE, you know you have a few turns to prepare. But if I see a lot of them, like a rocket, well, crossbones, I see Iron Man, I'm going to want to counter that. I'm going to want to slow them down. I don't want them to take that big AoE damage that they could take out my whole team. And I'm going to need some damage dealers to take them out before they take me out. And that's pretty much how I'm countering. There's other counters as well, but you know, just use your logic, see what works, see what doesn't. You could experiment in some modes, and that kind of leads me to my next topic, and that is you need to know what mode you're in. So can you experiment, or do you need to really theory craft and try to find the best team to take that team out with? So the best place if you want to experiment is these challenges. The good thing about these challenges, you get 3 clears per day on whatever challenge is available that day. So it doesn't mean you could attempt it as many times as you want if you're failing, but because it only counts when you pass it. Next good place to experiment with your teams is in campaign mode. If you lose your battle in campaign mode, you don't lose a lot, except for the energy that you use to go into that battle. Places that gets a little more serious are Blitz. You only get a certain amount of free attempts per day, and then you get this Blitz charge that you only have a certain amount of. Right now, the limit is only 500. Same thing with Alliance raids. This is a little more important, but you don't have a lot of attempts. You want to make sure that you go in with the right team, because they could drain your health, they could kill certain characters, and that's going to affect you for the future battles that you have, because you need to go all the way through the map. Let's just go into the map real quick. You know, there's a bunch of battles that you have to do to get to this end boss right here, and you need to keep your team alive. So having those healers, I want to put Yondu in there. I want to put Night Nurse in there. I want to put these guys that aren't going to do a damage and hurt themselves, like Crossbones, because he has that big attack, but he's going to hurt himself, so he could kill himself. And probably the biggest place that you want to do your research is this arena mode, because you only have 5 shots per day. I've already used 4. I only got 1 left. You can't buy these. You can't refresh these. You need to go in and win the battle. So let's go in. Let's do a battle real quick. Choose a good team. Right now my power is about 70,000 or so. So I want a team that's probably a little bit above me. See who I could take out. Usually I go for the team all the way on the right, and I'll just keep going until I find a decent team. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll have to go up a little more than usual. Oh my goodness. 8,000 at rank 428. All right, this is going to be a much easier battle. Let's look at this team though. They have Summoner in Kingpin. They have Summoner in Yondu. They have a tank in Drax. They have I don't know what to call Quake, because she does so much things. She does an AoE attack. She applies that slow. She is a solid character. I think she's the biggest threat. Then I'm going to go after probably Crossbones because of that big attack. I want to take him out. I don't want him to take out my whole team. Yondu probably next. Kingpin, and then Drax. That's my plan, but let's see how it goes. Remember, the first thing I said is you need to be flexible with your plan, but going into this battle, that's who I'm thinking of. And I think I have a pretty solid team that all around can take out a bunch of teams. So let's go. Let's see how I do. Just waiting for it to load here. First thing I want to do is get my speed up with Black Widow. So let me get that. Boom. She's faster. I want to remove that taunt from Drax. And now we're going to start to go after Quake. So let me get the taunt off from Captain America. Protect my characters. And I'm going to start chipping away at her. Let me get... Who should I use this on? All right. I'm going to use it on Yondu to slow Kingpin. And I'm really worried about Crossbones, so I want to get him slow first, and then I'll go back to working on Quake. All right, there he has his taunt up. So let's see if Black Widow can remove it. I did level up her basic skill, so she's supposed to be able to remove taunts when she's stealth. I guess she doesn't remove taunt though. So let's go with an AoE attack to start chipping away at Quake a little bit more. And I'll keep attacking Crossbones because he is a big threat. And I will go ahead and stun him. And here comes a big AoE. Maybe this takes out Quake. Maybe this doesn't. Let's see what happens. Took out Yondu. That's a good thing. And Quake looks like she's almost dead. Any big AoE or adjacent attack should take her out. Alright, so he still has that taunt on. Drax has a taunt on. I'm just going to keep working on Crossbones. At this point, Quake is not a huge threat. Crossbones is still there, though. I got him. I'm going to speed up everybody again with Black Widow. And there we go. Remove that taunt from Drax. Crossbones should be gone in a few turns. Maybe one more. Maybe not from Quake. This guy does it. Alright, so big threat now is Kingpin because he can summon few characters, and when he does summon them, they will have a taunt up, so I can't work on him when that happens. There comes a taunt. There comes a summon, and both of them are taunting. And Yondu, let's summon a few more characters. And let's just slow everyone here. Kingpin's down. Other minion is down. Now we just got Drax to worry about. This should be a pretty easy battle. Drax is not much of a threat as far as damage goes. He took out one of the minions there. They have naturally low health, but everybody else, let me just slow him down. And oh, I used his AoE. Probably wasn't a good idea. It's because I am not sure if that does more damage or his basic does more damage when you're talking about a single character. So this should be it. There we go. And that's kind of how I go through the battles. I have a plan in mind. Usually don't plan it out too much, but I want to have a general plan in mind when I go into each battle, and sometimes it goes how I think it's going to go, sometimes it goes nothing like how I think it is, but that is pretty much it. Threat assessment, looking at your characters, looking at the other team, finding a good strategy, having a plan in mind. Those are some important things, and let me know what you think. Are there other tips as far as choosing the right kill order of a team? Any other tips as far as countering certain characters? Let me know in the comments down below. I really want to see what you guys think. I look forward to those questions also. Helps me come up with ideas for other videos. So make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Valley Flying out.